You're the chairman.
I guess I need to get up front and center. Hi, Amanda.
We need to see you, Mayor.
We just gonna have this need turned over then, don't we?
You do turn it over to them, but I'm wondering where Caleb's at.
Yeah, we got a
I
quorum.
don't have a quorum here yet. Chris Lott said that he'd be coming too. The only one I
Hey,
wasn't
Amanda?
expecting was Irvin Brown.
Yes.
Can y'all let us have just a few more minutes, see if I can get maybe another member here?
Sure.
You want me to call,
Irvin, I bet Irvin ain't coming.
he's the only one I don't know about
Yeah.
coming, but
He
I
wasn't here last night, was he?
No.
did think Chris
I
Lott
say he's.
and Caleb were coming because they said they were. They were gonna go
Yeah.
online. They both
Although-
accepted.
Let me, I'm gonna call Caleb, see if he's having trouble getting through.
Okay.
Many of his customers.
That's what?
There's an extension this year.
It is to the 15th, yeah.
April, May, June.
Yeah.
He's on a
No, it's
dope.
May
I
15th.
don't know if he's
Oh,
gonna
May
get.
15th.
Yeah,
May
yeah,
15th.
last year was
Who
October.
would be the
Wasn't
other one?
Last year was until
I got
August.
Chris
Oh,
Lott.
yeah.
Caleb Fuquay's here.
There you go. I was just calling you.
I was trying to get on here.
Well, I understand. Where you at?
Thank you, Caleb.
You called the
I
water?
just left the Agent Orange. I sit on the Agent Orange Foundation, so up here at the funeral home where they did the dedications, and just left
Yeah,
there.
okay.
But I'll be joining you all via Zoom. If that's okay.
Okay, so you're caller 2. I'm wondering who caller 1 is. Keith Hoover's on. He's not caller 1.
I think caller 1 is me. I actually have dialed in on my phone. I've been having really bad internet connections, so I
Okay.
think that's what that is, perhaps.
Got called 3.
Okay, caller 3 just came in.
Chris Lott.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Okay.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna call this meeting to order of the Personnel Committee. I'm gonna call roll. Bob Hogan.
Here.
Don Eden.
Here.
Chris Locke.
Here.
Caleb Fuquay.
Here.
Irvin Brown. Okay, Irvin's not with us, but we still have a quorum. I'm hoping these ladies has got some good news for us today about our health insurance. And, for lack of a better thing to do, we need to approve the minutes of last meeting.
Move, there be.
I got a motion by Bob Hogan.
Second.
Got a second by Don Eden. All in favor say aye. Okay, I declare the minutes are filed and approved. Okay, we're going to start with our topics, and our first one's the Robinson County financial statement to our medical self insurance fund and the ending balance and note the cash in the bank. Wow, I like to have that, $3,134,946 and all of 75 cents.
As of today, it's $3,285,445.39. So we're in good shape with cash. I know that's
Okay.
Caleb's, always something Caleb wants to know.
Did you catch it, Caleb?
Yeah.
And the next one.
Mayor, Jody, it says see attached. Are you gonna give us something, or is it just a compilation, or is it something that's?
I do
We
have
don't
the
need-
financial statements that, I can go ahead and make copies for all y'all. I just
No,
didn't
I'm
want
not
to kill a
saying that.
tree.
I'm not saying.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay.
We're good.
Hey, Caleb, did you get that number?
Yeah.
Right. No,
We
I
have that
trust.
too. We want that
Oh,
copy.
yeah, the 3,262,19 number.
Yeah.
Did you send
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Look
I
at
just didn't, I didn't make
That
copies.
cash
for
is in the
y'all because
bank.
I was thinking about saving trees.
I like it.
Well, I know y'all have got this copy, right?
Yes,
They do?
yes.
All right, good.
I
all
just
right.
didn't make hard copies.
Anybody got any question or discussion about that topic?
topic 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, we'll move on to topic 2. That's to do with our Hub International Limited engagement letter to the Robinson County self-funded medical insurance broker annual renewal. Jody, you want to take over?
Yes, basically, we are been 3 years with Hub and very satisfied and happy with their service. And this agreement letter basically just renews it for another year. at the same, fee, at the same $50,000. And I think, Miss Catherine, y'all said you would be doing it this way instead of the 3-year one like we initially did. Is that correct?
Yes, it's actually just a perpetuity unless something changes with what the services are that we offer, so that we don't have to re-engage unless it's necessary for the committee here. So just a little bit of a revamp.
Okay, I see this go in front of the county commission for their approval at the April 19th meeting. Does anybody got any questions on that?
So it won't have an ending date? Is that another way to say it?
That's correct. That's correct.
That's a good question, Don.
Well, here's a quick question. This is Chris Locke. What's the time frame of notification of canceling the service for replacement? If it's in
I actually need to
perpetuity,
look at that
is it
engagement letter, but I believe it's 30 days.
30 days? Okay. Just questioning. I wouldn't obviously foresee a reason. I think we've been very successful over the last couple of years, but it's good to know that that's there and make sure that we are seeing. I think it is prudent for us as a committee to at least review that arrangement formally, once, twice a year, or once every 2 years or so, just to say, okay, hey, are we going the direction we want to go? Does everything look right? What's our review policy of our broker engagement?
Yeah,
I'm fine with this going in perpetuity. I just think we as a committee need to have it structured that's brought up at least every 2 years to say, hey, what are we looking at?
I like that idea, Chris, as well.
Thank you, Chris. I heard somebody say it's a good idea. Don, do you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I said. However, having an anniversary date does make us gather our thoughts and do that. So if we will agree to review it at least once a year, and I don't want to just put it out there and forget about it, and we don't ever talk about it anymore. But talk about it once a year, that'd be fine. And I certainly agree with not having to go through another formal process every year. It'll be silent for the county commission. They're okay with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they will be. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Ending date will be what? Will it be March 2023?
First off, it starts effective, it'd be July 1. We're doing it fiscal year to fiscal year.
I thought it was backing up to March.
I
So
believe
it'll be
the other one is-
2023, July 1, 2023, right? Is a 2-year margin.
It'll be 2 years. 1 year
Yeah.
would be 22.
So we're in the present contract until June 30th.
3 more months, yeah.
Okay,
2 more months, whatever it is.
just make it clear.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, we'll move to topic 3.
We make a motion to take that to the county commission.
Yeah, we probably do. I need a motion on topic 2 about carrying it to the county commission.
So moved.
Got a motion by Hogan.
I'll second.
Got a second. That's you, Chris Locke?
I think that was Caleb, but I'll second it if he doesn't.
Well,
Okay, we'll get one of you in there.
Caleb.
Thank you for the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody? Thank you. We will carry that to the meeting April 19th. Okay, moving to item 3. It's to do with our benefit plan recommendations, and I think, Joe, you want to turn that over to one of these young ladies?
I think that'd be Miss Amanda. She's our numbers guru here, so if you can go ahead and go through the, this year's plan benefit recommendation, Miss Amanda, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. And Jody, I know you had sent out the presentation in advance so that they could see what we're talking about. But yes, it's that time to talk about the July 1 renewal. And we've been going through it for a couple of months. And with the presentation that was sent out, I'm going to go ahead and just jump to slide 3. So when we look at the benefit plan, Jody mentioned that you have a very healthy cash balance reserve for the medical plan. And we have looked at how the plan's been running over the last 12 months and used those claims to project what we think is going to happen next year. So when we do our traditional underwriting method, taking into account Robertson County's specific claims and enrollment, and then we take into consideration items such as trend. So a claim today is going to cost a little more tomorrow. So when we add that in, as well as the administrative expenses of running a plan, such as paying your administrator, Blue Cross, different fees, such as the PCORI fee that was required by ACA, paying for reinsurance, which is stop loss coverage if you have specific claimants who exceed a threshold, as well as the fee that was just mentioned for HUB. When we look at your specific plan and how it's been running, we would estimate that next year the renewal would need to be about 3%. So that would be an increase over how it's running today of 3%. On an annualized basis, that's roughly $112,000. So as part of that projection, I mentioned Blue Cross would remain the administrator. There was a small administrative fee increase that we took into consideration. Blue Cross has made a business decision for all of its groups that keep the pharmacy component carved in or bundled with the medical, that they are going to move pharmacy benefits to CVS Caremark. So that will occur for Robertson County as of January 1st, 2022. Another thing that we've included here is, or wanted to mention, I should say, Blue Cross agreed last year that as your administrator, they will provide $15,000 of wellness funds. And those wellness funds can be used at your discretion for items for your employees that are wellness related. So they will continue that for the upcoming plan year. And the other item I wanted to mention in that 3% overall increase projection is the stop loss. And that is the reinsurance component that protects you from very large individual claimants. That has been issued at a 9.8% increase over current. So about a trend increase to continue the same contract terms as today. So put all that together, and that's how we got the 3%.
And that's a total of 112,000.
Yes, annualized, that would be about 112,000, correct.
You say 500 or 100?
Anybody got any questions?
112,000.
I heard that one bad here.
Yes, 112,000.
And that is also including your cost of 50,000. Yes.
It is.
Okay, questions back here? Sheriff, anybody?
I don't think he explained the pharmaceutical CVS.
Amanda, would you explain the pharmaceutical?
Sure. Yeah, and that is a business decision that Blue Cross made as a whole. So all of the prescription drugs will be filled by CVS Caremark. Today, the partnership is with Express Scripts. So you use the Express Scripts contract and network to fill the prescription drugs under your plan. Blue Cross went out and renegotiated that and is now going to partner with CVS Caremark. In terms of network access for your members, there's actually going to be more pharmacies available versus less. And Blue Cross is still going to determine its own formulary. So it will still dictate which medications are covered or not covered and at what tier. So they're not giving up that control. They're just choosing a new administrator to perform the filling of the prescriptions on the back end.
So Amanda, that's basically they changed the third party administrator, their TPA.
Exactly. Yep. And as part of that change, it's anticipated that all Blue Cross clients will get additional savings. I did not factor that into your renewal projection because They cannot tell us exactly what that impact is. Overall, they have told me that they believe it will be roughly a 4% improvement in cost for its clients. And that improvement comes not only in lower cost for the prescription medications, but also improved rebates. So the combination of the two.
I know my experience with Caremark through the school system compared to Walgreens, Kroger's, that structure, they were a little more expensive. When I switched on Medicare to Kroger's, there was a big savings there compared to Caremark. Now, I know the school system is on Caremark, and they're great, but they're more expensive. So if we have an increase in pharmaceuticals next year, I think it'd be laid upon CVS and Caremark. So we need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and your members will still be able to use Kroger, Walgreens, and the PPO plan actually has copays. So members should not feel an impact because they're not actually paying the cost of the medications. But for those on the HDHP, for example, where they pay the discounted cost, they do have an incentive to shop between the CVS, the Kroger, and see who has the best cost for those medications. But a large portion of your population will be insulated from that variation.
Anybody got a question? Catherine? Am I it Catherine?
Yeah, Catherine.
All right, Catherine. Seemed like last year, didn't we do a deal about people getting physical and it helped save them some money?
That's the
We did. And I'm not sure if that's, let me look at our slide deck, because we talked about, given the pandemic, just how to reward employees for activities related to wellness. And
yeah, it's on slide 11.
Let me see here.
I remember after the budget passed and everything that I had employees calling me thinking we was going to make them do a physical. Wasn't it voluntarily?
It was. It is voluntary. They just get a little bit of an incentive
Right.
with their HSA in order to receive that from the contribution from the county. So because of the pandemic, we sort of gave a little bit of a concession and extended the time period, and really are giving the look back period to if they complete a physical between and the personal health assessment on Blue Cross's system between May of 2020 through April 30th of this year for the personal health risk assessment, and the physical, we're going to look back all the way from May 1st of 2019. So anybody who got that physical back in May of 2019 through April 30th will receive the incentive. We're recommending that would be retained in the 2021-2022 plan year. And as Amanda mentioned, that's on slide 11. We recently just sent out, with Blue Cross's help, Tamika and her team to send out a postcard reminding employees of their requirement for this plan year.
Thank you. Because I had so many employees that were confused, thought it was mandated or something, and then when they didn't go do the physical, they thought they was left out of something they didn't know about. It was kind of confusing, but I'm not saying confusion on your part. It's just confusing maybe on us not getting the information out like it should, or something.
Yeah, I think anytime there's change, it's going to be a little bit more room for confusion, but we do try to give them as much information, and it is voluntary, but they are incentivized to complete those activities because it does enable them to receive the HSA contribution from the county. They need a little skin in the game is sort of how to describe it.
If the department has any questions, who they call? Demetra? All right, y'all hear that? Okay. Thank you, Demetra.
Tamika, that's all right.
Demetra, whatever. Yeah, Demetra, yeah. That's the only question I got.
So basically, last year was the first year we went ahead and implemented, like Catherine says, to have skin in the game. They had been receiving this HSA funds all these years, $50 a month or $600 a year. And the others that are on the PPO, now they have an incentive as well. If they don't do this, then they will pay more than the people who do it. Isn't that correct, Tamika?
Yes, ma'am.
So last year I could see why it would be confusing. It was the first year it was ever implemented. So I think we're hopefully getting everybody more well educated this year, because there are some people that were confused there. There was quite a few, weren't there, Tamika?
Quite a few.
We were surprised.
Yeah, it was quite a few, and then I was kind of, more people asked me questions, and they said, what do we do? And I said, well, won't you call Demetri? And then it's like, well, we didn't know that, come on. That's what she's here for. I appreciate what she tells the department is. Everything's lack of communication. That's what Steve McQueen then talked about. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, anybody else got any questions? Well, I think you've done a great job, Amanda. Seems like everybody's performed.
So basically, Amanda, we're really not even changing. We're not tweaking the plan really either. Wasn't there only the specialty medication or something was the only?
Yep, you're exactly right. And that's the next thing I wanted to mention. On slide 4 of the presentation we sent out, the only changes that we've proposed is, one, Blue Cross changes its fully insured contract every year based on what it's seeing in the market. And so we are recommending that you adopt the fully insured contract changes, which were listed. Some of the more, more prevalent items that you might hear about is they're removing the therapy limits for autism, for example, and 3D mammograms are going to be covered now as a preventive benefit, since most of the centers have moved to using that for detection. So we have agreed to adopt all of the fully insured contract changes, and there's really not anticipated to be any cost impact for doing so. It just makes your contract more consistent with the commercial business. But there is one additional program that is being recommended for implementation, and it's called the Advanced Specialty Benefit Management. And what this program is geared to do is it only focuses on provider-administered specialty drugs. And these are most often your cancer drugs that are being administered by your provider in their office. So it's not changing the ability for members to get that medication. It's just changing the manner in which it's purchased. So currently, the provider is purchasing the medication and administering it to the member, and also charging the member for that medication. So you have no control as to what they are charging for that medication, and it's used as a source of revenue for the providers. This program says you can still have that medication, but we want you to purchase it through our pharmacy, meaning the Blue Cross specialty pharmacies, and then we will ship it to your provider, and your provider will administer it. So the only thing that's changing in the process is the manner in which it's purchased, and that is to control cost. For your population specifically, there were 11 members identified as being impacted by this change. And again, it's not saying they can't have it, it's just changing the way in which it's purchased, and it is generating $50,000 worth of savings. So essentially, that renewal is cut in half by implementing this program.
That's a big deal. Thank you, Amanda. I mean, gosh, that's quite a lot of money.
And I think it's important to note that the Blue Cross the 11 members that are impacted will be notified in advance of the change. So they will be specifically reached out to those members that are impacted.
Okay. Thank you.
We may want to tell our employees that change may take a little bit of follow-up by the employee to make sure that medication gets to
The supplier.
the doctor.
Yeah.
or whoever's going to administer that, because we had a little trouble with that with Caremark, going back and forth from the school structure, that it would get delayed and Connie would have to go and follow back up on that. Normally, the doctor would take care of that, or whoever's implementing the medication. So in your references or somewhere when you're training, you may want to make sure they follow up on that if they have the special needs of medication.
So, but you are gonna send something out, Amanda, to those 11?
Yes.
Explain it? Thank you, okay.
Specific, they'll know in advance.
Yeah.
Yes, and this program actually went into effect July 1st of last year. Blue Cross introduced it, and providers are now familiar with it. We did not jump on the bandwagon year one because we wanted to get providers accustomed to it. And we're at that point where there should not be much question from the providers when they're informed that this program's in place. They will know how to handle it at this point because it's been out there for a while.
Anybody got any questions? Are you like me? You're not smart enough to know what to ask or what? I mean,
No changes in deductibles or premiums or anything like that. All that's the same.
Right, basically, everything, all the plan, the premiums will stay the same. And the only change is what she just explained here for these 11, and then of course the enhancements that they want you to have on the self-insured. Folks, I know, cost whatever.
yeah, I mean, it's a ray of sunshine.
It's good news.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we need some good news.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need some news around here. Yeah. I appreciate everything y'all do for Robinson County.
And Mayor, can I ask you?
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yes, and if any of their other government clients are using their wellness funds to buy a gym membership, fitness plans, other incentives like that. I don't know if she can hear me or not.
Did you hear that, Catherine?
I didn't hear all of it. I know it was related to how someone is using wellness funds. Is that right? What was?
Any other of your government clients using the wellness funds to help, with gym memberships or to encourage that type of thing?
That's a great question. I do not have any of my clients, municipality, government, or otherwise, that are using wellness funds specifically for gym memberships. That would be, when you use your wellness funds, you really want to disperse it across the entire population who might be able to access it. So it would be quite pricey to be able to do that from a full gym membership basis. But the good thing about these wellness funds is that, it can be used for a variety of, wellness uses. And Amanda, I don't know if you want to speak. I know you have other clients as well that use wellness funds, if you want to speak to that.
Yes, I have seen it actually run the gamut of employers that want to give a little something to everyone, to also offering full-blown wellness plans and using the wellness allowance to help offset the cost of a wellness program administrator. I've also had clients that take wellness funds and use it to pay for maybe flu vaccination clinics that they hold. So the Blue Cross is very generous with what they will allow the money to be used for. We just have to ask, and usually the request is either granted or redirected into a way that it could fit into their definition of a wellness allowance. But I can say I also do not have any clients that are currently incentivizing gym membership specifically.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So basically, to let y'all know, we did inform the budget committee. We had to do a budget amendment that the county commission passed last night.
Yep.
The funds will have to come in as a revenue, and then we spend it. So basically, this year, we kind of followed the lead of what Amanda said. We've got Tracy, where you contacted Yeti directly, Tracy, and we're going to be doing the drinking, the 20-ounce Rambler drinking from Yeti, and it's going to have the county logo on it, and it's going to be for all the county employees because it doesn't seem fair if you've got people that aren't on the insurance plan, and also doing it for the county commissioners as well. We ended up getting that new quote, Tracy.
That use up all the money.
used up approximately 11,000, and then the other 4,000, we technically spent 6,000 on the employee assistance program. So they'll allow us to get reimbursed for some of the employee assistance program. The employee assistance program was something the county had years ago, and then it kind of went away. And last year we were able to bring it back. You know, things were coming into play. So
Assistance.
your employee assistance program, can you explain that, Ms. Catherine or Amanda?
Yes, it's a program that allows employees and their members of their household access 24 hours a day, every day of the year, to contact through telephone or even online to receive licensed professionals to help with a variety of things. So whether you have someone in your home that's struggling with loss of a loved one, they'll provide grief counseling. They can provide services and resources for babysitting, dog sitting, lots of different subjects, but specifically and most often it's used for anything related to behavioral and mental health. It's just an additional resource. So it provides visits in person with a licensed counselor for any issue that someone might be facing, whether it's anxiety or marital issues or whatever it might be. There are 3 visits, I believe it is, that are free face-to-face with it's actually 5. Is that right, Amanda? I'm sorry, I didn't remember that correctly. So each person that is a benefit eligible employee and the members of their household can access this benefit and receive 5 visits absolutely free at no charge and face-to-face with a licensed provider. So it's a robust plan and can be even utilized if there's a tragic event. There's resources and professionals available to help assist your employees. And it is absolutely free for your employees. They do not have to enroll or pay for that benefit. The county does that.
Part of that last year.
Yeah, it started last year. I remember
The
that.
year we're in.
Yeah, if somebody needed an attorney or something, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, and I apologize, it is 3. You're right, Catherine. It's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is 3 visits, but it's free and it's for 3 visits per household member per issue. So if you have one person that's struggling with substance abuse and another that's struggling with, or maybe that same person actually later struggles with depression, or they can see a counselor and get 3 visits face-to-face per issue, per person.
Okay. Any more questions?
Yes, Mayor, but what we're talking about now, this $15,000 for this plan coming up, starting July 1, will be in next year's budget.
Yeah, we'll have to put that in next year's budget.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next year, we'll think of some other countywide program that we think can help us
Yes.
promote wellness.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been a little tough with the pandemic, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I need a motion for item 3 that we're taking these recommendations and moving with them. We're probably more acknowledging that our stuff's not going up and whatever. How you want to say it, Jody? You word it because you weren't going to write it up.
So basically, we need a motion to approve our 2021, 2022 benefit plan recommendations as presented by Amanda and in the presentation documentation with, the no changes except for the fact that Blue Cross is telling us we have to do it this way. It's their third-party administrator. And then the 11 employees on the advanced specialty benefit management.
Okay, you heard Jody. Can I get a motion on anybody going to say that word for word? Just make a motion.
No, I'll make that motion.
All right, I got a motion by Don Eden.
I second that.
Got a second by Bobby Hogan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Maybe I take roll call.
Does anybody oppose?
They're muted.
Yeah. I didn't hear Chris and Caleb.
I vote aye.
All right, okay, good, great. Sound like the ayes have it then. Okay, so moved. Does anybody got any more questions for Catherine and Amanda or Jody?
I've got one question, Mayor, and I'll make it brief. Amanda, is there a way for us to find out what percentage of our 3.3 million in claims were Network S? I know it's not in the presentation. I don't expect you to know it offhand, but I'd love to get an idea of what that number is.
Yes, and it's in our monthly financials.
Okay.
So I know we send that to you every quarter, and so
I'll
we can
add it
send those numbers. Okay.
Yeah,
If
I'll
you
just
need
add
the
it.
latest,
That's fine.
we'll send it out in early April.
That'll be great.
Okay.
I totally agree with Chris on that.
Yeah, that's
We
good.
need to
Hey,
keep
I
up
agree
with
with you, Chris. Good question, Chris.
Yeah, that's coming.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Okay, Jody's got something she wants to say.
After actually talking to Commissioner Bob Hogan yesterday and got the mayor and Keith, everybody is really interested in getting an HR. And because HR has just been something we haven't had available. So there's an opt to go for an actual HR that would be a consulting and have plans to take information to the budget committee on April 6th. HR consultant can supposedly do basically all the same things if we were to hire a full-time employee. Found out about this through Arthur J. Gallagher. They handle our property casualty liability insurance, workers' comp. And for approximately $39,000 a year, they can provide that service. Gonna probably be bringing it back to personnel after we can see if we can get the funding from the budget committee.
Okay, this is information, what she's giving. She's not asking for the blessing. She just wants you to know this will be brought from the budget committee. I think through Clyde and everybody that we've been playing with dynamite, not having somebody that the employees can go talk to. And Catherine, this ain't got to do with you and Amanda, but we appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah.
But this is for the personnel committee's knowledge. And if nobody's got nothing else for Catherine and Amanda, we'll let y'all go if you got to go home or something. Look like you might already be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you for all you do.
We appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
stay safe.
Bye.
Just an information.
Yeah, that's
purposes only.
information. Anybody else got anything for the personnel committee?
Got me.
Okay, Don.
The last I heard, we were talking about dividing a job up and letting somebody new or somebody old, take on the responsibility of handling HR problems or questions and start on a part-time basis.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's probably the personnel committee to decide how they want to go about it, which route they want to go or what. Yeah.
I'm one who's not fully convinced we need an HR person. Now, I granted that the mayor's close to the fire and he says we're handling dynamite, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet how creating another department is going to.
It's not a department, Mr. Don, it's a consultant.
I understand.
So what happens
Well,
is.
it's not a consultant, Jody. If we give the job to somebody that already works here, and it's.
This particular one it was something that can happen immediately. You don't have to provide an office for them or all the equipment and all that. This would be through Arthur J. Gallagher. They have a person on staff there that would be available for us. So it'd be kind of on a consultant basis, kind of like they did the engineer with Jason Reynolds before we finally were able to get Trey Fan on. Kind of a similar thing.
Well, Jason wasn't the only engineer we used. We had.
He was the main one we were
Yeah,
using.
but we had others, you're right, but he
Yeah.
was the main one. But
He's
I
the
like
main
this approach of seeing what we exactly need. And when I talked to Trey about coming here, I said, Trey, you're going to open some doors that we really don't know what we need. as far as an engineer is concerned. And this is what this company is going to do, is open the doors to see exactly what
And
an
this-
HR person.
That price you mentioned is for one calendar year or one
Okay,
of our
they
budget
gave
years.
me $3,330 a month. I think maybe I can find out if we could do it like on a month to month to see if it's
And
used.
this company basically would allocate somebody that would be on call for us.
They have a lady, I think her name is Charlotte Jensen. She's
And
got
we'd pick up
25
the
years
phone and call.
experience. Yes.
Yeah. I think Jeff Beamer's $450 an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I think, matter of fact, that might even pay for it, for all I know.
Yeah, he gets more calls than I thought. A lot of people just call him.
Keith wants the people to be like available for questioning at the April 6th meeting. So that might be good for you to.
My
cover
only
that.
problem with that is I don't know if a consultant's heart would be with Robertson County. If we had an employee that was good enough that we would assign that employee some of these responsibilities, I'm pretty sure we would give it to an employee who really knows and cares and would go the extra mile and do all those things. I'm not criticizing it. It's just that I liked the idea of starting part-time, not with a consultant.
I mean, the last time we had that lady, I think she got abused.
I remember her very well.
She's about to have a nervous breakdown.
Was figure out how to give raises.
And, she got abused bad. I mean, I felt sorry for her. I seen her down here, her hands literally shaking. And, she thought she was under a lot of pressure. I know where you're coming from. But, I think though, we're gonna have to get somebody, because there's a female employee in this building that's got a problem. I don't see her coming and talking to me.
Yeah.
I really don't.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And if she did, I would not know how to handle it.
Well, Mayor, you need a little protection in that anyway, and so do the department heads, and that's kind of what a HR, whether it be consultant or department, they kind of stand aside on their own and offer some protection not only for the employee but even for us as policymakers. There's somebody for us to turn to. But Brother Don, I hear what you're saying about one of our own. And because it makes a difference, it does to me. It's home. I will say this though, since it's going to be new to us, I'd much rather the consultant take all the beatings for the change that we're going to have to go through, and then find out exactly what we need, then let Ben hire on one of our own.
Yeah.
Jody, I don't like the idea of just doing month to month. I like the idea of setting up a season, a year or 2 years, and seeing what we can come up with. If we have a month to month, I can go in there and do what I need to do for a few months, and I can pedal water. I can tread water that long. But if you got somebody more, say, committed for a year, let's see. And with the understanding that we could almost keep him on for the following year and may keep it totally and not have a person. They need to earn the job, but just like Trey is opening up doors for us now and saying, hey, these are the things, we've got him overloaded right now. He'll let us know in a few years when he gets ready to retire. Then we'll have an idea who we need to hire.
Hey, Chris.
That's a good point, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you and Caleb a story. We've been using Jeff Beamer, and he's kind of expensive, but Wilson County didn't have an HR person, and they was using Jeff. Well, one of their employees sued them, and it went in front of a judge and a jury. The jury awarded the lady $1 million, and then the judge could do it times 3.
Trouble.
And he did.
Right.
He multiplied it times 3 and told Wilson County that's what you get for not having an HR person. And Jeff Beamer said he was lawyer representing Wilson County. He said, I can stick my flag on that,
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I personally would not lead an organization that didn't have some type of HR team, just because I need them to be separate and outside of my chain of command even, so that I'm never pointed at that says, you made this policy and here's why you made it.
Yeah.
I need that to be independent even of my organizational operation, so that I know my employees have got a place to turn for fair and equitable treatment, and that all my policies are reviewed with the day-to-day changes that go on. Because this world is a weird place right now, and we all need protection from a
from even a simple error and mistake. So I agree with it 100%. So I'm glad to know that we're at least headed that direction. However that ends up, whether it be consultant or in-house, I hear Brother Don very well, and I agree with him. But if we're going to implement something, like I said before, I'd rather the consultant take all the beatings and then hire in one of our own. That first year is going to be tough because nobody's going to really know how to handle it.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Anybody got anything else they want to add for the Personnel Committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Hogan, second by Eden.
Yes.
All in
Thank
favor
you.
say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, we're.
I'm glad it's on the table, Jody. Thanks.
Well, the department head